Well, good afternoon. First, welcome to my screencast. I want to give you the talk that I gave at PTSA this morning at the general meeting, and my Prezi is entitled Mountaintop Room Fireside Chat. So I'm going to sort of give you the same speech, record the same speech that I gave at PTSA, and I started off by saying to my PTSA group that I said, imagine that you are in the mountaintop room near a fire and that we're having a conversation and that it went something like this, where we're sitting in a room like this and we're all sitting together by the fireplace, and I might be sitting here, you might be sitting here, and we're just talking about this or that, and we're talking about school and education, and someone brings up the topic of math sequences. And I would say, well, hey, have you heard about our district's redesigned webpage about the math sequences? And you would say, yes, I have heard, tell me more. And I'll say, well, there are stories of 4 students in the district who go through different pathways in the math sequence of the Common Core, and I want to share that with you. So in our district webpage, you'll see that we offer as a district, a high-performing district. If you look at any other similar high-performing districts, PVPUSD offers the most options and opportunities for acceleration and course sequence choices. What I want to kind of share with you is that we have the math sequences here told in the format of stories through 4 students. And so I wanted to take the time to share with you one story, but I really implore you to go to our district webpage, and under Common Core State Standards, you'll see math sequences, and you can look at David's story, Judy's story, and Todd's story. But let's look at Todd's story for a second. So I shared with my parents, by looking at Todd's math sequence, that in this case, Todd would start out with PVCM, Palos Verdes Core Math 6, and the following year would be in PVCM 7. And if Todd's goal is to get to algebra in 8th grade, he would have to take a summer bridge class that will be offered by the district free of charge. And it would be the same amount of length of time, about 5 weeks, as our PEF summer class. And thus in 8th grade, Todd would be in Algebra 1, 9th grade Geometry, 10th grade Algebra 2, 11th grade Pre-Calc. You could even take AP Stats or AP Comp Sci if you have the space, and then in 12th grade AP Calculus or Calculus. Now we also offer Advanced Math here, and right now we have 9 students in Advanced Math, which is a level higher than AP Calculus BC, and we will always offer Advanced Math in hopes of making sure that we increase the enrollment in that class. So I shared with my parents saying that, hey, Todd's math sequence is about learning about the apply and the why and the rigor and the relevance coming out of Common Core. And the reason for that is because the ACT and the SAT, I don't know if you know this, that there's a battle of tests, and historically students have taken the SAT more, but now recently the ACT is more favored by high school students. And so with the SBAC assessments coming, and the fact that the SBAC will show to colleges students' readiness at high school for college, the SAT and the ACT have to remain competitive. And one of the ways that they're going to do that is to align with the Common Core to make sure that they're providing an assessment that really showcases a student's ability for college and career. So as you can see here, David Coleman, the president of College Board, you can see in the Atlantic that he is now redesigning the SAT to make sure that it is aligned with the Common Core, and the ACT is already aligned with the Common Core. Thus, as principal of Palos Verdes High School, it's really important to make sure that our curriculum and our content and our instruction is aligned with Common Core to make sure that our students are ready for the ACT, SAT, and the SBAC. So this is the graphic that I just wanted to end with. That Common Core it kind of has all these things fall under it. SBAC, AP, Redesigned, SAT, and the ACT are all falling in line with the Common Core state standards. And so my message to you today is very simple, is that the district is taking the vehicle of storytelling to help everyone understand the math sequence and how important that is. And so over the weekend, my two daughters and I, we were making our way up to the park. And where I live, we have to go up a hill to get to the park. And my 4-year-old here was sitting, and my 2-year-old was sitting in the radio flyer. And of course, I was dragging the radio flyer up the hill, and it was very it was a physical, strenuous activity, and I didn't know how difficult it was. And my daughter said, "Daddy, I'm going to help you." And I said, "You can't help me. You know, you're a kid. You're supposed to sit in the radio flyer, and I'm supposed to do the pulling." But she jumped out, and here's a photo of my daughter pushing from the back. And we got to the park faster, and I was not as exhausted, and I just never knew how strong she was. So today, just like as we are, imagine that all of us are in the radio flyer together, and maybe I'm pulling us, but I am asking for us, for you to lend a hand and push from the back and spread this message and share this message that the reason why we have the alignment with Common Core is to get our students ready for the ACT, the SAT, and for college and career, because it's all aligned as one. So if you can share that message with your family and friends at Thanksgiving, I would appreciate it. Thank you for listening.